Hi guys, I hope you're well. Let's have a very quick look at Nasdaq 100, and this time around we will be starting our analysis on the daily chart. And yeah, without wasting any further time, let's get straight into the chart. So in regards to the daily chart of Nasdaq 100, the first thing that I can see on my end is the fact that we have this W structure at this point, which has a neckline more or less at this level, right? And we can see that the neckline at this point has been broken to the upside, and we saw price bouncing off this level. Let me just draw it properly, bouncing off this level and then pushing down to sort of retest this level. And you guys know by now that when it comes to W structures, we want to see price breaking to the upside of that neckline, coming back to the neckline to test it, and at that point is where we would look for potential buying opportunities, right? So similarly, at this point we should be looking for potential buying opportunities, right? So what else do we see, guys? Another thing that I see is that price, after breaking the neckline, went to this level, and we can see that the reason why price bounced off this level is because we had this level over here, making this entire level a very strong level of resistance, as you guys can see, right? Anyway, let's proceed. So what else do we see in regards to this particular chart? Another thing that I see in regards to this chart is the fact that we have this candlestick over here. This candlestick is a liquidity candlestick, and it tells us that at this level over here there's a lot of liquidity sitting there, and liquidity represents money that needs to be triggered by the market at one point or another. So in the future we will see the market head up to this level to grab some liquidity, right? I'm just gonna mark that area in fact before I head down to the H4 chart, so just bear with me, guys. I'm just gonna make it a different color as well. Let's see, I'll make it a whatever this color is. It looks like a maroon, but yeah, whatever it is. Anyway, we'll say that that level over there at that 12099 level is where the market at some point needs to go to grab that liquidity, right? So from here what I'm going to do is head down to the H4 chart, and here we are on the H4 chart. Let's have a look. Just want to fix my daily channel. There we go, right? There we go, right? So just to recap, guys, remember on the daily chart we spoke about how we have this huge W structure which has a neckline at that level, and we said that we expect price to come back to the neckline to test it, and at this point is where we would look for potential buying opportunities, right? So let's just zoom in a bit and see what's happening in regards to the H4 chart, right? So guys, as much as I'm saying that at this level over here we should be looking for potential buying opportunities, can you guys also see that we have an opposing structure in the form of a head and shoulders pattern? Can you guys see that, which has a neckline more or less at this level over here, right? So it makes things tricky now because we have two opposing structures. Number one, as I said, guys, we have that huge W structure right at the bottom, and number two, we have what seems to be a head and shoulders pattern, right? And they both have necklines at more or less the same areas, right? Making buying or selling at this point very, very risky, which is this point over here. It's very, very risky. So the best thing to do, in my humble opinion, is to either wait for price to actually close below. That's if you're looking for selling opportunities. Either wait for price to close below the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern, and then wait for it to head back to the neckline, and at the neckline is where you would look for potential selling opportunities, right? And your first take profit should be this level over here. And the reason why I say this level is because we also have another smaller overextended W structure at this point, and you guys know that when it comes to W structures, as I've said before, we want to see price heading to the neckline to test it, and at that neckline is where we would look for potential selling opportunities. So we would look for potential buying opportunities rather at this point, right? I hope what I've said makes sense. Anyway, let's proceed. So guys, as I've said, we have two opposing structures, right? Just to recap, number one, we have this W structure, which has a neckline over there, right? Number two, we have this head and shoulders pattern, which also has a neckline at the same region. So buying or selling at this point is risky, right? Anyway, let's proceed. From here, what I'm gonna do is attempt to add my H4 channel. Just give me a second, guys. Let's see. Let's see. There we go, more or less. I just want to make sure that my channel is as accurate as can be. Right. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see. There we go. Right. So we could say that that's our H4 channel, and we can see that the channel has been broken to this side, right, which explains why we saw price moving further down to this level, to test this level, which is a very strong level of support, and that is because it is the neckline of that huge W structure that we spoke about, right? Anyway, let's proceed, guys. So just to zoom in, what else do we see in regards to this particular chart? So guys, as much as I say we have this head and shoulders pattern, can you guys also see that we have another smaller M structure at this point, which has a neckline at that level? Can you guys see that? So what may actually also happen at this point is that price may bounce off this level, head back to the neckline of that M structure, and then from there push further down, right? And that is because similar with W structures, when it comes to M structures, we want to see price breaking to the bottom side of that neckline, heading back to the neckline to test it, and at that point is where we would look for potential selling opportunities, right? So from here, what I'm going to do is head down to the H1 chart. Let's see H1 chart. So what do we see, guys? Let me just actually fix my channel. Just bear with me, guys. We don't normally have a look at H1 charts, but this time around, let's just have a look at it. There we go. Right. So what do we see here, guys? Another thing that I see in regards to the H1 chart is that if you look at this candlestick over here, right, it is also a liquidity candlestick, and it is carrying a lot of liquidity at this level over here, right? Let me just actually mark that candlestick because it's very much important as well. There we go, right? So just to recap, guys, remember on the H4 chart we spoke about how we have this head and shoulders pattern which has a neckline at this point, and I said to you guys that buying or selling at this point may be risky, right? So as much as that's the case, just to zoom in a bit again, because we have this candlestick over here which is a liquidity candlestick, right, which tells us that there's a lot of liquidity at this point which needs to be triggered by the market. There's also a big chance that we might see price or the market push further down to trigger the liquidity at this point, and what may actually happen is price may then go back to the neckline of this pattern over here, which is a head and shoulders pattern, and at this point we might potentially look for further selling opportunities. And if we do sell at this point, our first take profit, as I had said, guys, would be this level over here. And why do I say this level? That is because this level is the neckline of this huge W structure that I spoke about on the H4 chart, right? So that is my analysis really, guys, in as far as the or rather in as far as Nasdaq 100 goes. I hope it makes sense, but just to close, remember that this zone over here is a very risky zone to be looking for buying or selling decisions, right? Anyway, that's my analysis, and peace out.